Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm coming to you from my backyard because it is so beautiful out today. So I just had to sit out here to record this video. Today I am going to share with you a thrifting video. When I first started doing my thrifting videos, my plan was to do them once a week, every Thursday, but I've decided to go to once a month. I just want to be able to provide you guys with more diverse items. And if you thrift, you know that if you go every day or every week, often you're seeing the same pieces that are still sitting there. So I just thought it would be better to do it once a month, and I'm going to share one with you today. Also, I just want to address something. I am new to YouTube. I've only been sharing videos on here for a few months, but I am not new to painting furniture or social media. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I've been on Facebook and Instagram, and I love what I do. But I do find that YouTube is a different audience. I get a lot of love, especially on this last video that I posted recently, got a lot of love, and with that comes a little bit of negative. And most of the negative is just people saying, I hate painted furniture. You ruined it. That was beautiful wood grain. Why would you do that? Things like that. And you know what? I respect people's opinions. We can all have different opinions. We can all like different things. The world would be a pretty boring place if we all liked the same things, right? If we all had the same taste in music, if we all had the same taste in books or art or home decor or furniture. So I'm glad that there is a very wide range of different tastes. So while I definitely respect your opinion that you might not like painted furniture, if you're going to leave a comment that you hate painted furniture, you don't like this, then maybe just don't be here or don't watch, because I'm just not going to worry about that or engage. When I paint furniture, it's almost always furniture that was headed for the landfill anyway. I found it at a thrift store that's very cheap, has been sitting there for weeks. Sometimes it's furniture that is sitting on the side of the road, literally waiting to be picked up by the garbage truck, or it's furniture that is just in dire need of repairs, and maybe the repairs are too extensive for me to completely refinish, refurbish it. That's just not what I do. So I'm not taking heirloom, pristine, antique furniture and ruining it by painting it. Just had to say that. And I have the perfect shirt on today. Let me share it with you guys. It's from Melange Paints. I just got it yesterday. Haters gonna hate, painters gonna paint. Fetch your smelling salts. She painted heirloom wood. How perfect, right? Anyway, you guys, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm excited to share with you my newest thrifting video. This is my first stop. It's one of my go-to thrift stores, and this is the first piece that caught my eye, you guys. It's a gorgeous mid-century modern dresser or armoire for $150. It was gorgeous. Not in perfect condition by any means, but I love the detail. It is a Kroller that is a great brand. And while it is a great piece of furniture, $150 was just a bit too high of a starting price point for me in my particular area. But just check out this beauty, you guys. I love the base and I love the legs. What a great find. Right next to that was another tall boy dresser. This one was listed for $85. It was in decent shape. It wasn't like a super vintage or super high quality piece. And in my opinion, $85 was just a bit too much. And again, you guys, I am talking about my area. I know what I can sell furniture for, and that's just too much for a starting price point. Check this out, you guys. It's the matching lowboy or credenza to that other crawler piece for only $100. I loved it. I loved it so much, and I don't think $100 is a bad price. I left without it and then immediately regretted it, but when I went back, it was gone. So here's a tip to you guys. If you see something that you love and you know it's a good deal, snag it right away. But don't be too hard on yourself if you miss out, because like I always like to say, if it's not there when I go back, then it just wasn't meant to be. Next up is this desk, you guys. It was listed for $50. I think that's a pretty good price. It was nice and solid. This piece is screaming for some paint. That top was laminate, which still can be painted as long as you take the proper steps. I checked out the basket section. You guys know I always like to look here for staging and home decor. I loved this one. I love how it kind of has that flat bottom, and it was only $4. I didn't snag it because I have too many already. I always look at the chairs. These ones were nice at $9 each. They honestly could have been used just as is, but I do always tell you guys to check out the chairs, because if you're wanting to get into painting furniture, they are great practice. They're tedious, they're not easy, and not always fun, but like I said, they will give you great practice. Let me show you a few smaller items that I found. This chair was absolutely adorable and only $9. It was like a child size. And right behind it was this vintage school desk for $10. It was so cute. It would be awesome to use these in your child's room, or if you have a play area or something like that. There was also this vintage high chair on wheels, and I don't think this would be all that safe to use now, but it was cute. And also this radio flyer wagon. Both were a little bit overpriced in my opinion. That one was $55. The height chair was $65. I also saw this cute fan. It's not vintage. I think it's from Hobby Lobby for $1.50. And this is vintage, you guys. It was $15. This old Coke wooden crate. I have so many of these and I love them. On to the next thrift store. And the first thing I saw here was this drop leaf table. And this one was $50. It was really, really beautiful. I don't work on tables anymore, and I don't know that this would be a super great seller, but I did think it was unique and beautiful. And then I just kind of walked down this aisle where they have all of the smaller pieces, some cabinets and tables. I could not find a price on this parlor table, but I absolutely love these pieces. I've painted several over the years and they always turn out so beautiful. And another piece of advice that I always give you guys is, if you want to start painting and refinishing furniture, start with something small. Start with something cheap, something that you don't feel like you're going to ruin, like your grandmother's antique Hutch or something like that. So always check out the smalls at your thrift store. So many of these pieces have been here forever, you guys. I don't know, maybe they need to think about rearranging them or reducing the prices, because I've literally seen these same pieces week after week after week. I do love this dry sink. I think I featured it before. It looks like it's been previously painted or at least like glazed or something like that. And I don't love taking on previously painted pieces, but this is so cute and that price is right. So I've been kind of thinking about this one for a while now. I went down to the basement at this thrift store, and this is where they have seasonal items. So right now it's lots of outdoor things, gardening things. I love this plant stand for $9. I already have 4 of them, and I use them in my home and in my staging. I love them, so I did not pick that up. But you can see here lots of like lawn furniture, patio furniture. This little chair was cute for only $5. Usually this area changes with the season. So around Christmas time, this will be filled with Christmas trees and decor. But like I said, right now we are in the middle of summer. So everything kind of has that summery garden outdoor feel. I thought these chairs were nice for only $7. I like the detail, and you could always recover the fabric. You guys check out this piece. At first I thought, oh my gosh, that looks really cool. But look at that damage, and that's particle board, which can be a nightmare to repair. So while I thought it was such a cool piece and it was only $10, I just couldn't do it. That would take way too much time and work for me. This area is always a good place to check out in case I'm in need of any gardening tools or pots, things for planting. I don't need anything right now, but I always have to check it out. I did spy this crock, which I love, $10. But again, you guys, I have a collection of these already and don't need another one. I didn't think $10 was a bad price, but I have definitely seen them cheaper. This was $60, this glass jug, and it was huge. I loved it, but I'm not paying that much. And then this basket or planter was also super cute. It was $17, a little bit too much for me, but like I said, it was big. I went upstairs and then I found all these miniatures. How cute are these? I don't know what I would use them for. Well, I don't have a use for them, but I do have furniture friends who do doll houses and things like that. And these would be such cute little accessories to use for something like that. There was a lot of like little broomsticks and baskets. And then in the bin right next to it were these straw hats. How cute. I also saw this bench, which is not vintage, but it is very functional. It was $48. It was in really good shape. And check out that storage underneath. And that's what I mean by functional. It can be used as a bench. It can be used for storage. And it actually looks fine just as is. You could certainly paint it if you wanted to, but I think this is a nice piece and a really decent price. This next piece is one that I absolutely love. It is a vintage Hebblewhite buffet. Oh, I love these so much. I have done several. They always turn out so great. They always sell quickly because they are so versatile and functional. There was not a price on this one. My guess would be at this thrift store, probably around $75 to $100, which I absolutely would pay for this piece. I just didn't snag it today. I guess I'll use my philosophy of if it's there the next time I go back, then it was meant to be. And if it's not, it wasn't. Check out this ornate credenza. This one was listed for $35. This is not a piece that I would typically work on. The top was like laminate and it was bubbling up, and the detail on these pieces are often plastic, which is the case for this one. And while I don't typically work on pieces like this, I have seen others that do. They often do like bold colors and they turn out really cool. This was a nice little end table for $40. It seems a little pricey, but it was a very nice quality. You guys, it was solid and sturdy and clean. I love the lines and the legs. So I don't know, $40 really isn't too bad for this piece. I also really loved that hardware, the ring pulls. Wandering down this section, I saw this outdated kind of oval shaped coffee table, and this one was listed for $48. I think that's a little too high. I don't know. It's outdated, and yes, it could be sanded, painted, and given a makeover, but not for me, you guys, and I wouldn't pay that price. There's also this huge Hutch, and you guys, this one has been here forever, and I'm talking months and months, maybe even years on this one. I see it every time I go. It's listed for $125. And in my opinion, it's not selling because people aren't really looking for this type of furniture anymore. Maybe they don't have the space. It's very hard to transport because, as you can see here, it's all one piece. It does not come apart into two separate pieces, and all of that glass, I certainly don't want to transport it. That's a no for me. I forgot to show you guys this set that I saw downstairs, and it's a really cool vintage, like mid-mod outdoor set. The cushions were missing on most of the pieces, but oh, I loved it. It was listed for $500, but it was 50% off. So $250 isn't a terrible price. However, you would have to get new cushions for it, but very, very cool. Lastly, at this thrift store, they do have a small section that they call the antique section. Not everything in here is antique, but a lot of the items are. So I always just stroll through here to see if there's anything that catches my eye. I did see this very small old wooden desk. I thought it was super sweet, and it was listed for only $25. I thought that maybe it would have pin and cove joints just by the way that it looked, but it did not. But it was still very solid and old, a nice piece, and that certainly would be fun to work on, and the price is right. Right next to that was this little round table that had a leather top. It was $15. You guys can paint over that leather. I have done it before. It does take a few extra steps, but you could also leave it as is as well. And here's another cute little table and some rocking chairs, but I'm sure I've featured these before, you guys. They've been here forever. And again, that's why I've kind of decided to switch it up and only do monthly thrifting videos rather than weekly ones. I just want to be able to show you guys some more diverse items. This is my last stop for today. It's the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and the first thing I saw was this gorgeous Empire dresser. I absolutely love this style of furniture, and this piece was only $45. Overall, it was in decent condition. There was some veneer peeling up on the bottom. To me, it looks like this has been previously refinished, and you'll also see that there are some holes in the top that have been repaired. So it looks like there was probably a mirror on here at some point. You guys, that's a great price for this piece, and I really wish that I would have snagged it that day. I'm not sure why I didn't. If you guys have ever been to a Habitat Restore, you know there's always a variety of items. So I just kind of wandered into the back. This orchard basket was very cute for $20. And here's another cute little parlor table with some really pretty detail. This one was $15. But this is also the area where they're going to have other items like light fixtures and supplies, things like that. This was a really nice piece for $65. I was shocked when I opened it up and found that it's a Haywood Wakefield. Excellent furniture brand, excellent quality. I really liked this piece, and it's a great price. I just don't think that I have a lot of buyers in the market for a piece like that. There were several smaller tables as well, kind of like I showed you before at the last thrift store, you always want to check these out. They're definitely good starter pieces and usually really good prices, although I think $30 and $35 for those is a little bit too much. I loved this one. This one was $39 with the glass top and kind of rattan bottom. That would be so cute for outside or like a 3-season porch area. This is a very cool vintage or antique stove oven. It was $185. Of course, it's not something I'm in the market for, but just wanted to feature it because I thought it was super cool. The last item I'm going to feature, I loved and I could not find a price on. It is this vintage bed and it looks like it's already been completely stripped down. Oh my gosh, I would use that as is. Unfortunately, I don't have a need for it and I no longer work on beds. Let me know if there's anything you would have snagged today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching.